All right, if you're a dad and you got 20, 30, 40 or more pounds to lose, I'm gonna share with you the keys to transforming your body. And it's more than likely not what you think it is. You see, the first thing that we need to start with before any of these external tactics or strategies is we gotta start with what's going on inside of you. So up here, this is where it all begins. This is where transformation starts and ends, is up here in your mind. You see, most dads, they're just looking for a quick fix tactic. You know, try this diet, try that diet, try this workout, try that workout. And while that stuff works, it usually only works short term because they run off of motivation, they run off of willpower, and there isn't any long-term plan in place. It's just all this quick fix overnight success. So you'll see guys lose 20 pounds in a couple of weeks only to put it back on again because they were just focused on the external. They're focusing on the quick fix tactics. And so where I start with all my guys is we start with the inner game, and we start with what we call the code. And so the code is what we live by inside of Forged Father. As a man, there is a code with being a Forged Father. This code, the overarching theme of this code is to stop lying. Lies come in many forms. For most men, lies are just the excuses that you tell yourself, the stories, the limiting beliefs that you choose to accept as true. That's what holds most men back, and so they're not telling the full truth. And so here's the thing about the truth is when the truth is present, God is present. And when God's present, transformation can then happen. But when truth isn't present, God isn't present, and transformation never lasts. And so this code, this overarching theme of it, it's to tell the truth. There's 4 keys with this code. It is real, raw, relevant results. And so we tell the truth through the real facts. Facts being numbers. Facts being things that we can actually track and say, yes, we got it done, or no, we didn't get it done. Because when we're looking at transforming your body and transforming your life, there needs to be factual things that we're tracking. Yeah, we're tracking your weight, we're tracking your body fat, but the day-to-day actions that we're taking, we want to be able to track those things. And so we can say at the end of the day, yep, I got it done, I executed on the plan that's real, or I didn't. It's not this wishy-washy in between, like I did it, but you actually didn't do it. So that's the first piece, is we tell the truth through the real facts. Second is we tell the truth through the raw feelings. And this is a game changer for men, especially when it comes to transformation, is working through the ups and downs of how you feel. Let's be real, like most guys, when they start fitness journey, they're motivated, they're excited, everything's fresh and new. And so it's easy to take action when you're excited and motivated, but you get a couple weeks in, life starts throwing all sorts of curveballs at you and you stop feeling like it. And most men, they don't have a system to work through their feelings. They just kind of, oh, I don't feel like it today, so I'm not gonna take action today. I'm not motivated today, so I'm not gonna take action today. But when you're telling the truth through the raw feelings, you own up to those feelings and you start to navigate through the feelings. And you'll notice you start to take action regardless of how you feel. And so it's really having a system that helps you navigate through these different feelings that you have as you go through the process. So we tell the truth through the raw feelings, and then we also tell the truth through the relevant focus. This is everything. So if you're gonna come at me and say, hey, Travis, I want to shred my dad bod. I want 6-pack abs. I want to be jacked. Okay, that's an outcome. That's a result. Reverse engineering that means we need to take actions that are in alignment with that goal. It's in alignment with that outcome. It's relevant. The actions that you're taking on a day-to-day basis is relevant. It's all intentional. Your focus is intentional. And so we tell the truth through relevant focus, which leads us to the final piece, and that is results. We have fruit to show for what we've been doing. That's why we take action in the first place. Transformation is the result of telling the truth. And so we get that firmly in place. And what makes us even more powerful is when you have a community of men that are all operating by the same code. So instead of being a part of like a happy, clappy, pat me on the back, no matter what type of group, which there's a lot of those out there, it's just you get a participation trophy for it. You're part of a group that operates through the hard truth, tough love, because everybody's living with this code. And so if a guy calls you out it means something because he's doing the work, he's showing up, and he's telling the truth. And don't mistake this for being perfect. Like, we're not trying to be perfect. We own up when we make mistakes. We own up when we slip up. And so operating by this code, now we can get into the deeper tactics. And I break it up into 4 different pieces, okay? If you're looking to transform your body completely, there's 4 different phases that we go through. We can also talk about how these are like different seasons, okay? Most guys, they have it all wrong. They think when they decide to make a body transformation happen, it's just gonna happen in one straight line. It doesn't happen that way. Like, there's different sections. It all starts off with what we call base, okay? Base is establishing a foundation, okay? Base is about consistency. And you gotta understand with each of these 4 sections, I'm gonna lay out 3 different sections based off of how you're gonna feel, what your fitness looks like, and what your fuel looks like. So in base, the whole focus is to create this consistency. It's to establish this foundation. So from a feeling side of things, what you gotta understand is we're not trying to lose weight in base. We're not trying to get shredded in base. We're not trying to build a bunch of muscle in base. We're simply just looking to create consistency. We're looking to get rid of the bad habits. We're looking to add in the good habits. We're looking to get clarity and confidence with the nutrition side of things, as well with the fitness. From a nutrition point of view, with the fuel, it's simply getting dialed in with your macros. So this is where the facts come in. So you have your macros laid out for you, total calories, protein, carbs, and fats. Nothing crazy. We're just trying to establish maintenance with this. We're not in a deficit. We're not in a surplus. We're just looking to get your body back to homeostasis. As far as fitness goes, strength, hypertrophy work, getting consistent with your workouts, nothing crazy. We're not gonna be doing a bunch of extra cardio or high intensity interval training sessions, literally just walking. Getting in 10,000 steps a day is a good marker that we try to shoot for with our guys, on top of 4 to 5 strength training days. Some guys, they only do 3 based off of how much time they have. But that establishes our base. Okay, once we've gotten consistent with that, which is usually a couple weeks, now we're ready to move into one of 2 phases. And this is dependent on the individual, and this is where coaching comes into play and helps direct you in the right path to make sure your transformation is matched up with you. So there's a build and there's a burn. Build is all about reestablishing your metabolism, putting on muscle, whereas burn is all about shredding fat, losing weight. Here's the truth. Most men are not ready for burn because they've been putting their bodies through such stress and chaos for years prior. They've been eating so inconsistently up and down, eating crap food so their digestion is off, not sleeping well, drinking alcohol. There's all these different stressors that have been pulling them off the path and, you know, creating this dad bod that they have right now. And so a lot of guys are not ready for a burn yet. And so I'll outline build. Build from a feeling side of things. Like during a build, again, the focus is not to lose weight during a build. It's to pack on muscle. And so your energy is gonna be up, your performance is gonna be up, your sleep is gonna improve. Those are all things that we can expect during a build. Now, as far as your fuel goes, your fuel is gonna be laid out to pack on lean muscle. So you have to be in a surplus. So your calories are gonna be a little bit higher. And we make sure that your macros are arranged in such a way that, you know, we're not putting on fat mass, we wanna put on muscle mass. And so the way that I approach a build with all my guys, it's a very slow process. We're like on a lifetime build basically, right? Versus the traditional bulk that you see a lot of guys do. I'm more about slow, consistent, sustainable muscle growth. So it's not like you're putting on 10 pounds of muscle only to turn around to lose it all through like a cut. We're not bodybuilders. But during a build, that's what you can expect from a nutrition side of things. And then training, it's very similar to base, where we're gonna be strength training, hypertrophy training, cardio. It's still just moving every single day. 10,000 steps is a good baseline for that. But we can also start to add in short, high intensity type training sessions. So this is where like short sprints might come in, or little bouts of anaerobic training. So whether that be on like an assault bike or a rower or something to that nature, since we are taking in more calories, we can do that higher intense type training. Now on the other side of that is a burn. And this is where most guys, you know, they wanna dig into this right away. But again, we gotta make sure your body is prepped and ready to go into a burn. And so once your biomarkers are all close to being optimized optimized, meaning your sleep is good, you're sleeping throughout the night, your energy throughout the day is pretty solid, your sex drive is up, your focus is up, and you're pretty much on point. You're not dragging ass, you're pretty much ready for a burn. So a burn, the focus is to shred fat. And you gotta understand there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss. Weight loss is easy, just eat less calories. Move more, eat less, you'll lose weight. But the weight is a combination of muscle, fat. We don't wanna lose muscle. We wanna do everything in our power to maintain muscle. So this is where macros come into play and need to be optimized and dialed in for you specifically. And so from a fuel side of things, obviously we're gonna drop your calories. So you gotta be in a deficit to start losing weight, to start losing fat. But you want your macros laid out in such a way where we're taking in enough protein, and this is dependent on the individual. So a lot of guys, they quickly think, okay, burn, low carbs. I gotta cut my carbs. That's not the truth. I have a lot of clients that start burns that actually take in more carbs and we just drop their fats. And so we're just creating a deficit. And so it really depends. This is where a customized approach comes in and is required. But from a fuel side of things, obviously we're cutting your calories down. From a training perspective, this is very, very important. Strength training and hypertrophy training. Those are the keys. You're not adding in a lot of cardio. If anything, you're gonna just be moving through walking. One of my favorite things to do during a burn to help push guys further along a little bit faster is do weighted vest walking. So it's low intensity, it's not gonna beat your body up. And the mistake that most guys make is they start doing all this high intensity interval training. So you're dropping your calories lower and then you're doing high intensity training. That's a combination for burnout. Like you're just gonna drive yourself into the ground. You're gonna start feeling like shit, sleeping like shit. You're not gonna be recovering from your sessions. And then fat loss comes to a halt. So your body's not gonna wanna lose fat when you're basically drained. So you need to make sure the training matches up with what you're putting your body through. So from like a feeling perspective, what you can expect during a burn, and I always make sure to explain this to my clients when we're going into a burn, is yes, your energy is gonna be a little bit lower. It's part of the process. Your hunger, it's gonna be a little bit lower. And I like to say, when you go to bed hungry, that's what fat loss feels like. When you're operating through the day and it's not lunchtime yet and you're like, I am hungry, that's what fat loss feels like. That's the sacrifice that you're making to shred away this fat so you look better, you feel better. It's not just gonna be handed to you. Like there's sacrifice involved, but it's well worth it. And so you go through a burn, and I usually take my guys through a burn until they visually see what they wanna see. So we track the metrics, sure. We track the weight loss, we track the body composition, but most of my guys, they'll get to a point, and let's just say you wanna lose 30 pounds. Like that's your goal. A lot of my guys who have wanted to lose 30 pounds, they'll get to that 30-pound loss mark, but they still don't look the way they wanna look in the mirror. They still got body fat that they're carrying around. And so now we start working off of the mirror, and we continue to push that burn until we get to that point where they're like, yep, that's the physique that I want from a level of leanness. I wanna maintain that. And that's why I said we switch gears and we go into the build. And that's why I said a build is like a slow process. It's like a lifelong process at that point, because in a perfect world, it's you go base, burn, down to the body composition that you want, and then it's a build. And it's like a build forever. Because when you do it right, you can build and have a lean, chiseled physique where you're eating more food and your body is way more effective and efficient with taking in more calories. And you're able to maintain that level of body composition much better because you see the changes visually in the mirror. So if you start to get a little bit soft, we just go into a slow, short burn and then go back into a build. And that's the other thing that you got to understand is, again, it's not a straight line, start to finish. You'll go into a burn, you'll go into a build, maybe back into a burn, back into a build. It's a back and forth process. And so again, this is where coaching comes into place, where you're constantly getting that feedback back and forth. This is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm looking. Okay, we need to change this up, we need to tweak that up. And finally, we arrive to a point, which is the last phase, and this is the beast phase. So this is where you have the body composition that you want. You've started to put on muscle, you're starting to look good. Physique is under control. Now we switch gears and we focus in on performance. So this is where a lot of my guys start to look into events. So whether that be Spartan races, a lot of guys are starting to get into high rocks races. Some guys choose to compete in CrossFit. It could be all sorts of different things, but now they want to put their fitness to use. They're like, I look the part, now I want to show the part. And and I want to beast. I want to be a savage. I want to like use my fitness. And it's really cool to see this because guys that are in their 40s, 50s, like they unleash this inner athlete again because we shredded it away with fat, got rid of all the extra weight. They see themselves in the mirror and it's motivating. And so they want to see what they're capable of doing. And so from a feeling side of things, once you get to a beast level, feeling wise, what to expect there, obviously your energy is up, your performance is up, and you're just reaching for that next level. And so from a fueling standpoint, this is where more advanced tactics come into play. So carb cycling, I do that with a lot of my guys because they want to maintain the level of leanness that they have, but we also got to fuel them appropriately for like longer events. So I have guys, including myself, that do like 30-mile races. We do 30-mile Spartan races. And so you have to be taking in calories to be able to push yourself through those events, but also push yourself through the rigorous training that you have to go through to prepare for those events. So on average, when I'm preparing for a Spartan race, I'll be taking in 4,000 plus calories a day. And I can do that while maintaining my lean physique without getting fat because I've done it right. Same thing for a number of my clients that I work with. And so from a fueling perspective, carb cycling is a tactic that we like to use, or just high and low calorie days. So I'll do like a calorie cycle. But for most guys, we just get to a point where their engine is running so hot, they've built so much capacity from putting more muscle on and getting in better shape, they can just take in higher level calories. So again, it's a customized approach. It's different for everybody. But the training side of things, so the fitness side, that's where we're having so much fun. We're doing a combination of everything. So strength training is obviously still king. We're doing hypertrophy training, but now we're doing power training. We're doing high intensity intervals. We're doing long bouts of cardio and conditioning. This is where like running becomes more important because you're obviously preparing for an event, and it's always going to be in alignment with the event that you prepare for. So those 4 phases, like from start to finish, I've had so many guys come into the program. One off the top of my head that is like walking, talking proof of how this transformation process works is my guy Jacob. So when Jacob came into the program, he was a complete beginner. Like he had not worked out for nearly a decade. He was a software engineer sitting behind a desk, computer pretty much all day. I remember when he first started, he had over 50 pounds to lose. When he first started the first week, he couldn't even do 5 burpees without stopping. And then by the time we got him through the first 16 weeks, he was doing 50 burpees in under 10 minutes. And that was a massive milestone for somebody. And so we took him from base, we got him to burn, we shred off 50 pounds, we got him lean, he had 6-pack abs, and now he's competing in Spartan races, he's competing in high rocks competitions. He went from doing 0 pull-ups to doing over 10 strict pull-ups unbroken. I mean, it's just limitless with the things that he's achieved just within this time period. It's pretty incredible. So walking, talking proof, and that's just one success story. So if you're watching this right now and this is resonating with you and you're wanting to create body transformation and you've tried so many different things, there's 1 of 2 things that you can do. Go below this video and you're gonna find 2 links. The first link goes to a private behind the scenes masterclass. Inside of this masterclass, I lay out the 3 pillars that we follow inside the Forge Father that has helped thousands of dads since 2017 create body transformations like I'm talking about. And if you're really resonating with this, the second link goes straight to my calendar. So if you want to book in a call where we can just sit down, we can discuss your current situation and see if Forge Father is a good fit for you, that'd be the best bet. So go below this video, check out those links, and if anything, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more videos from me.